mai, haere mai. Welcome to Wāhine Wavelength. I'm Rebecca Robin, and this is my guest, Alma. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. It's so cool to have you here. This is the first episode of the year.
Oh, exciting.
And the first episode in this arts office as well, so that's pretty cool.
It's a lovely space. I love this.
Thank you. It's a little bit messy from time to time.
It's okay.
So, we've got quite a few topics because you are like a multi-talented person.
Thank you. I never thought of myself that way, but thank you.
Yeah, like amazing. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to ask? So we'll start with, I've got here citizenship, home and belonging. So you've recently become a New Zealand citizen. Yay! Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
So what did that moment feel like?
Oh, I was really, I was caught off guard, really. I thought, oh yeah, it'll just be, what it is. And then the day came and I was nervous and I was really emotional. And so I had a good little cry because I never thought that I would be a citizen of any other place other than the U.S., which is where I was born. But then, I was like, this is amazing. What an opportunity. What a gift. And
it looks really amazing. Like Christchurch City Council does a beautiful job of welcoming people, doesn't it? Like,
gorgeous. And they give you a native plant they gave me a native tree. I was like, oh god,
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It was just so wonderful. Yeah.
Shout out Christchurch City Council. We love this.
We do.
And so, like, what's it been like building a life in Aotearoa and finding a sense of home here?
Yes. I've been here for over a decade now, and it is my home.
Yeah.
Every time I go home and visit family, it's now when I come back, I'm like, oh, here's my home.
That's so cool.
And it's a different world. It's slower pace. I'm from Los Angeles originally, so much slower pace.
Yeah.
But it's perfect. It's perfect. People are so generous and lovely. They really are. And it has been just such a gift to be, in the wonderful green landscapes that we have here. And
so
it's just gorgeous.
Hear.
It's beautiful. And so, everything's easier here for me. It was very welcoming. So it was sort of like, how do you not make a home here?
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, I love to hear that. Yeah. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Because I was just going to say, what is your experience of how has migration shaped the way you see community, belonging and responsibility? So, you've obviously done a lot, but I've got those questions coming up. But so you're already very actively involved in the community.
Yes, I mean it's one of those things that I don't know, it's just in me to get amongst it all and wherever I am and be part of the community and meet people, because
connection.
You need connection. I mean, we're social animals. We need connection.
Yeah, it's so important.
We really do. Yeah.
Yes, it's so true. So motherhood. So you're a mama?
Yes.
And how has motherhood shaped the way that you think and care safely about the future?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like motherhood has been the biggest learning curve in my life.
Same.
Yeah. Nothing prepares you for it. And so it was just such an intense experience. And it brings out all these things in you that you didn't know.
Yes, absolutely.
Were there.
I agree. I'm like, okay, I can empathize with things I never thought I could.
That's right. And so for me, with raising little kids, like I was saying, I love all the libraries, all the green spaces. And so for me, then I thought, we have to keep these things available for people, because it was a lifesaver for me. It really was, like, mentally, how stressful it is, especially the first year.
Yeah. That's isolating as well.
It is extremely isolating. Everyone goes back to work, you know, and you think you stop and you think everyone's going to stop with you, and everyone just keeps going. Yeah. And then you have to find these new friends, new
you're all sleep deprived. Yeah.
And that's if you have, a healthy baby.
It's true.
So yeah, my lifeline was the libraries and the botanical gardens just here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Just my kids from when they were little, they were like, cafe. And they saw the cafe because they already knew. And that's to be outside, to be
engaged in the community.
Yeah. And so for me, I realized how important these spaces are for people, not just myself. You know, you sort of don't think about it in your everyday until you have to stop everything and then take care of kids.
Yes. Like, I even took my daughter through the art centre the other day, and I like just forget. She's just like, wow. I'm like, I'm going through here all the time, and I am amazed, but I forget how like wonderful it is, really, because I'm here a lot.
Yeah.
So, we're very lucky here, but it takes work to keep things open and libraries going, and
it does, and they're just such an asset to the community, because without them, I mean, where else can you go without having to spend money and spend hours, there? So for me, it reinforced that idea of you do have to care for things and keep things for people of all backgrounds and all socioeconomic, categories, and
something for everybody. And that just leads on so beautifully. I was going to say, how has being a mother changed the way you approach your advocacy?
Yeah, I mean,
or your public work.
Yeah, public work. I think I don't know if it hasn't changed it as much as I thought, but I know I'm always really protective of my kids, and so I don't really put them online just because of my line of work.
It's not safe to put them on there anyway.
No, I know it's not.
I do it occasionally.
Yeah,
and I think
I learned long ago, just in the abortion rights space that I work in.
Yeah, it'll probably be quite toxic, I can imagine.
Yes, I remember one of my bosses. She has a child, and someone sent her a message saying, "Oh, look at this child!" Like, sort of took a screenshot of it and was like, "Oh, a threatening message."
Yeah.
And so I learned very quickly. Oh, yeah, okay. There's. But for my kids and for young people in general, I want them to be able to grow up with the freedom of choice.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being so strong for that as well. And also thank you, because when I was getting harangued online, you're like a really strong force. Because it is, like, I make music and people will be mean, but advocacy is a next level of toxic. Like, people really come for you at the throat. Like,
especially for women.
Yeah.
And women of color. Yeah. Indigenous women. The bigger voices are usually men.
Yes.
But they don't want to see women having their own sense of self and power.
Yeah.
And I've realized that now, like, that's their problem. That's not my problem. And so,
I love it.
Yes,
it's so true.
Yeah. So I think it's just sadly part of what's happening, but it doesn't have to be this way. But there's slow change. I mean,
I also got to give shout out to all the beautiful men who also support me, and it put me out we're gonna get there eventually, and I've got a son, raising a good one,
like you're gonna be a good one.
Yeah, you better be. You've got sisters and a mother to answer to, so I hope he is. And so, science and conservation, man, you're so cool. So a lot of people, through advocacy, but your background is actually in science. Can you please explain a little bit about your journey?
Yeah. So I have a bachelor's of science in zoology. I love animals. So I was always really curious as a kid. And so I realized that the university near my home had a zoology major. So I was like, sweet, that's where I'm going to go. And that's where I went.
It sounds to me that's very LA, or like a marine biologist. That feels very, it's so cool.
Yeah. I think for the longest time, my parents didn't understand what I was doing. My dad was, because in zoology, it's all like mammals and animals and all this stuff. And my dad was telling people I was like all sorts of different things. studying all sorts of different things. I was like, no,
He's
Dad.
proud.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. So I have a bachelor's in zoology, and then I did this really cool program in the summer over in Minnesota, so in the Midwest, and loved it. So I was working with butterflies and monarch conservation, and I love insects. Like truly, it's one of my favorite group of animals.
I'm really glad you do, because I'm terrified of them.
I love them all, and so. Yeah, so I did that program in the Midwest.
That's so cool.
And then I applied once I graduated from university for a master's degree. And I got in, and it was amazing. So I have a master's in ecology, evolution, and behavior.
Wow.
It's a long title.
That's impressive.
It was really fun. It was just was really fun. I find science to be really fun. It's difficult in a lot of ways, but it's really fun because you kind of get to figure out what's happening, or you're trying to find evidence for what's happening.
Yeah, I don't like do a lot of science in high school, but as I've gotten older, I've learned a lot more, and it's a lot of questioning things, and that's what I like.
That's right. Yeah, I couldn't say anything without having evidence for it.
Yeah.
So I couldn't say, oh, this is what's happening. Well, what evidence do you have? And so I really liked knowing how things were working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm just quite curious in general.
Well, we need that in the world. We so do. Yeah. Well, and what did conservation teach you about fragility, interdependence, and responsibility?
Oh, yeah. So important, because you realize how you are. I think humans like to believe that we're separate from the environment and separate from our effects on the environment, and we really are not. And so it just shows you sort of the ebb and flow of life, and that actually, things can get hard. Like for example, with monarchs, people are like, their numbers are down.
Yeah.
And so you really try to rally people who care and want to help.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for humans as well. When something's going on, we try to rally for each other.
Yes.
And try to know what to do, best practice, best evidence. And so it really just taught me, to care for things and to figure out how to care the best way. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that so much.
Thanks.
And do you see a connection between citizen science and grassroots organising?
Oh, yeah. So with citizen science, I did that a lot with the monarch conservation work that I did. So because people love monarchs, it's one of those things, it would be very different if you were like, come work on this like cockroach. They'd be like, yeah. Beautiful. Monarchs are so beautiful, butterflies in general, moths. But it's people, you engage them with this really iconic species, but then you talk about, how to collect data, how to do things, and you make connections with people, and then they care about that stuff. So they're already there because they care. Yeah. And so it's a really, with grassroots, you find that there are so many people that actually care, but just need a little bit of direction because, like, what do I do? How can I help?
Yeah, people want to volunteer, and they definitely want to get.
Yeah, and how do they do that? Yeah. And, what's the best way to do that? And so with citizen science, we trained the volunteers. They would go out and look in their gardens for eggs and monarch eggs and caterpillars. And
my daughters would love to do this.
It's so much fun. I want to start that again at some point.
I'll definitely help rally around that. I'll be on board with it. It'd be so cool.
Yeah, because people really care.
And I remember seeing one in my yard, and it had a little tag, and it had come from quite far away. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's really rare. A lot of people don't see that. Look at you.
It's a long time ago, so I remember it because you just don't see that often. But I think they were trying to like breed more of them or something.
Yeah, so they're trying to track how like where their numbers at the end and where they go.
How did anyone even get a tag on them? That's crazy.
I know. I think where they come from the University of Kansas. Wow. I think, yeah, because we worked a lot with people in the Midwest.
Of course, I'm just thinking about Dorothy. I'm sorry, automatically there she came.
I love it.
Love her so much. Okay, and we're on advocacy and abortion rights.
Yes.
So you are the co-president of ALRANZ.
Let's say LRANZ for short.
LRANZ for short.
It's the longest title.
It really was. That was a mouthful, and I rap. So what first drew you into abortion rights advocacy?
Yeah. So abortion rights. I'm from the States. In the States, it's just so politicized and very polarizing. Even now. So I think I just grew up with sort of knowing that idea. I mean, from what I can remember, I remember being in a class in high school, and it was sort of like they called it a peer education class. And we learned a lot about a lot of topics.
Yeah.
So we learned about pregnancy. We learned about abortion. We learned about this wonderful woman came and spoke to us, and she was about her HIV status and how she had actually contracted HIV by her husband. And
that's really like some good education there.
I feel so lucky. That class was really pivotal for me to sort of think about these things, because a lot of people don't think about those things, in depth. Often you hear sort of like stories or a headline, but to have someone talk to you and ask you, oh, what do you think about this? Was really important to me. And I think that helped a lot. So I remember in that class thinking, I'm pro-choice, once you understood and so
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's where that came from. And so as I grew up, of course, laws apply to women very personally.
I can't even imagine. Like, I've got a little sister who's American and a little brother, but for my sister, especially, I can't even imagine what it's like.
The laws that are made just for women when they become pregnant are just, you basically lose your right to your own body the minute you become pregnant in the States, unfortunately, and in other places in the world, and New Zealand here for the longest time.
Yeah.
Abortion law reform is only 6 years old.
Is it only 6? Oh my goodness, that's right, because technically it was still illegal, wasn't it?
It was in the Crimes Act.
So it was too.
It was in the Crimes
New
Act.
Zealand, we need to catch up.
Yes. So only 6 years.
That's not cool.
No, and those rights are never settled.
No.
Because politicians have their own personal beliefs about that. But again, our rights to our body shouldn't depend on anyone else's.
I think it's healthcare, and it's not. I don't think they should really have their business in your body.
Yes, and it is healthcare, and I think people really still to this day try to deny that abortion is healthcare, and it absolutely is. And people only think that it's someone wanting to end a pregnancy.
Yeah.
But abortions happen when people have a miscarriage, when there's
pregnancies as well.
Ectopic pregnancies, which are deadly to anyone if it's not caught early. And for so many other reasons, pregnancies do have complications. We only hear about, people who've had successful pregnancies, aka they gave birth to a healthy child. But
is that what they call successful?
So like a successful one,
right? Yeah.
But it's because we don't hear about women who had abortions. No one's over here saying, "Oh, I had an abortion." Yeah. It's very rare.
As someone who's spoken on a lot of stigmatized things, yes, it is difficult. And I can imagine, so I'm really, really grateful for you because it is really difficult space. I remember, I think here, now it's finally in the hospital, but in Christchurch it used to be a clinic and they would have protesters outside.
Yes.
It's just like so
yes,
unreasonable, and like, and now it's in the hospital because it's nobody's business.
it's no one's business.
Like, so yeah, I'm really glad that we've sort of moved on in that respect.
Yes, yeah, there is a law now.
Because it's just not, not
it's
okay.
not okay.
No.
It's not okay to intimidate or coerce anyone into any decision.
I also remember, so I went to Catholic school, a bit old now, but I was even in 97. They still were not teaching us about contraception then. Now they do. But then they were still like, no, get married.
Get married.
Yeah.
As if getting married is going to prevent you from having pregnancy complications.
My mum had a baby at 16. And also they used to send everybody away to have closed adoptions, and so many people have found out they've dated their cousins, and there's so many issues.
And that's why adoptions were always closed, because they don't want people's good names to be like, as if being pregnant is shameful. It's not.
I can't imagine all those poor women being teens getting sent away to be a nanny for the holidays. It's just so horrible. It makes me sad every time.
Yeah, I can't even imagine sending my child away for anything, let alone to be alone during that time in their life. Yeah, and so abortion is only 6 years a healthcare issue. It's taken out of the Crimes Act, and there is a law around safe areas. So people cannot protest within 150 meters of any hospital or clinic. And if you do see that, let us know. So you can call 105. It's not an emergency.
Yeah.
You can take photos if you can't do it safely.
Yeah.
But let us know. So I will link to all that.
And I will definitely put all of the information up there. Yeah. It's so important.
Because it is. It's
and so can people get in contact with you guys? Or women get in contact with us?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Feel free to always contact us. We're very happy to take any message or phone call, anything like that.
Amazing. It's such a good community service. Well, okay, here we go. You've just covered that. I was going to talk about it being decriminalised.
Yes.
But it's only been 6 years. So what do people not understand about that process?
About abortion?
Yeah.
I think
about the criminal and the decriminalisation part.
Yeah. So before you had to, if you wanted to have an abortion, you had to ask 2 different, they called them certifying consultants.
Right.
One of which had to agree to perform the abortion for you. And so you basically had to say, because this was the only exemption, was mental health. So you had to say that you were mentally unfit, that you were...
It's horrific.
Yeah. So you had to lie. Instead of just saying, I just don't want to be pregnant, which is a valid choice.
It is.
You had to lie and say that you were mentally unwell. And that's not okay. And that does happen. So there are instances where psychosis can set in.
Yeah.
Pregnancy is not health neutral.
Oh, no. At all. I'm a hormonal person. I definitely went up and down, and I had postnatal depression and stuff.
Same. So And that's the thing. I think, and again, you don't hear these stories because a lot of women don't want to come forward because of the stigma around mental health and around abortion.
Yes.
So, but that was an exemption because they knew that women can go into psychosis or can.
So a loophole. Not nice, but something.
Yeah, but and so that again, then imagine even now, try getting 2 appointments quickly with a GP.
I can't even get one for months.
No. And so this delayed the process. So then you really forced women into surgical abortion and pushed a lot of women outside of the cutoff, right? Of like do you want to have an abortion later on?
Yes.
And that can be different for everyone.
Yeah.
And so, but now, thankfully, that is no longer the case. So you can actually self-refer for an abortion. Good. So if you find out you're pregnant and you don't want to be pregnant, or you're not sure, there's a really great service done by Magma Healthcare in conjunction with Sexual Wellbeing Aotearoa, so formerly Family Planning.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
They renamed themselves, rebranded, and it's called 0800 Decide.
Oh, brilliant.
So it's a free phone, and you can also go on their website. So it's decide.org.nz.
Okay.
And so you can get abortion telehealth. So you can either on the phone or over the, like kind of video.
Right, yeah.
And so, and then they just go through the process of asking you the questions that they would in person, and then they mail the abortion medication to your local pharmacy. And so you can,
That's good.
And that's the really good thing about law reform, is that it's decreased the need for surgical abortions.
Yeah.
So that, the earlier is the safer, right? Yeah. It's already really safe. Abortion is 14 times safer than pregnancy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
It is 14 times safer than being pregnant, having an abortion. So it's not a dangerous procedure. Right. A lot of people want to stigmatize abortion. Yeah. But it's very safe. The medication has been around for decades. And so, so we're so happy that abortion is in the health system now.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely is. I'm pro, like it's necessary, and I just think of so many preventable, terrible things that that it could have solved if it was destigmatized as well, because like the stigma of having an abortion versus having a whole baby for the rest of your life, that's insane. That the stigmas might stop it.
And people speak about motherhood so like blasé, just have the baby, and it's like, actually being a mom is the hardest job you'll ever have. It is like I said, it's the steepest learning curve, and you need to put so much care into those children. So it's not just, just have it, you'll be fine. Actually, no, that we have to actually value motherhood, and I think that's why motherhood is so devalued. They're just like, just do it. Just do it. No. We need to care for these children. And you need to be able to have a choice, whether that happens to you or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't think you can nurture them as well, it takes a lot. I think I'm definitely not mathematically inclined, but I reckon I could go to university and do a maths degree versus motherhood, how hard it was. Because I was a nanny and I did teaching. I was like, I've got this sass, and I was like, I did not know anything at all.
No, you don't. You just don't know what comes after, because you're so focused on your pregnancy in the beginning, and you're like, wow, okay, cool. And then
I remember being like, are you just going to leave me alone with the baby?
You're leaving?
You're like, what do I do? Where's the booklet?
It is so tough.
Yes.
And I mean, that's why they make babies cute.
Yes.
But man, it's rough.
I agree. Yeah, definitely on board with that. I can empathise. And so, what keeps you going in this space when it's so emotionally and politically charged?
Yes, I think just the knowing of what happens when abortion is not available. In the past, women would drink things. Coat hangers, illegal. In the States, I think at some point the mafia was really involved. In providing abortions. So, but it was.
Kia ora.
Yeah, I know. All right, thank you. But it was still very illegal.
Yeah,
they paid money. You didn't know who was going to perform the abortion. It was very secretive. But now we still see these things where people are denied abortions, and ultimately any pregnancy whether you believe that abortion is right or wrong or whatever you think, the moment you're pregnant, you can die of pregnancy complications, and abortion is the treatment for miscarriage or many pregnancy complications.
Like treatment is the key word.
Treatment, it is. And so I think what keeps me going is the fact that I'm still of reproductive age.
Yeah.
You know, you can become pregnant for
it's scary. I'm worried.
The bulk of your life.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Like, oh no, no more.
Yeah.
And but also, I feel like if people really understood that the government, no one, not the church, not the state, not your husband, not your boyfriend, no one, not your dad, should be telling you that you cannot control your own body, that you cannot control your own fertility, because then that is you are not free. We are not in a democracy. We are not in a free state of being. You know, we are chained to whoever is in government, and that's I think that's what people don't. And I think that's why a lot of the anti-abortion movement focuses so heavily on the baby, right?
Yeah.
So they think, oh, once the egg and the sperm meet, that's conception.
Yeah.
That's a human. That's a baby. And it's like, but you're not even pregnant at conception. It's in the fallopian tube. You know, if they really understood any of that, you would realize how long pregnancy is, because if you don't just get an instant child, but they rely heavily on that sort of guilt or that emotive stuff, like, oh, you're killing a baby. No one's killing babies. Killing babies is already illegal. Please, if you see that, please do call the police. But no, this is different. And so it just keeps me going. I know how important it is.
Especially because things can go backwards. So it's so important to keep your foot in the space.
We can go backwards. Yeah. I know people in Aotearoa feel like this can't happen here.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people didn't realize that abortion was criminalized, because they had heard that maybe some people, do get abortions, but they didn't realize the process and that you actually weren't free, to make that decision. And it can easily go backwards, because at the moment we have the Prime Minister, Christopher Luxon, who has said on record he is against abortion and he thinks abortion is murder.
I think Bill English, who was beforehand, was the same sort of rhetoric as well.
Yes, the same. And Bill English's wife, I think, was a GP. She also was against contraception.
Right. Oh wow!
Yeah, and against abortion.
As a GP, but what about that Hippocratic oath thing?
Mm-hmm, that's still a problem. That's still a problem in New Zealand, which we'll get to. But yes, and at the moment, Christopher Luxon nominated or put Simeon Brown.
Oh my God, that's right.
Into the health. We have the most militant anti-abortion, religious, Christian fundamentalist as the Minister of Health, with absolutely no qualifications, no medical background, nothing. And that is a huge red flag.
I think the economics minister also has a degree in English or something like that. Yes. Nothing in economics at all.
No one.
Yeah. So what's happening?
So many people are not qualified for the roles that they're in, and I think people don't realize that. They, to use the U.S. as an example, because I'm from there. When Donald Trump puts all these weird people in, people, I hear people say here, oh gosh, that's terrible. And I keep thinking, well, then why is Simeon Brown a health minister?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so my dad is a Māori American and my stepmama is African American. Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. And I was like, they've taken away this. And so they feel like we're just as in trouble.
We are.
As them. And I was like,
Yes. And I think that's one of the things, because Simeon Brown, everyone's just like, oh, he's just he's a religious nut or whatever. It's not going to happen. Yes, it can.
Yeah, it can.
Because he's already made terrible decisions for the health system in general. But the one that really sparked our concern as abortion law reform is because abortion has to do with bodily autonomy, right? The fact that you are free, your body is free, you don't have to use or you don't have to follow what the government says about you have to have 2 kids, only 2 kids,
right?
Or
yes.
You're free to make those decisions or to never have kids.
I feel like free is the operative word here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Simeon Brown, as health minister this past year, decided to ban puberty blockers. For our tamariki. And so he's saying he knows better than the doctors and the GPs and the parents involved.
Yeah.
So he's removed the ability of parents to go to the GP.
It's not a simple process just to do that either, everybody. Like, it takes time and therapy, and there's a lot of work that goes on. It's just cruel. It's like puberty blockers are for so many different things as well. Like,
and they've been around, and so these are hormones, right? They've been around for ages. They give it to little girls sometimes when they start puberty, or even little boys, they start puberty too quickly or too early for whatever reason. But it's reversible too. I think the anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ movement, which are one and the same.
They really are. Yeah.
They're all the same people.
They actually are. They're the prohibition crew, really. Yeah.
They just have lots of organizations to make them seem like they're bigger than they are.
Different lobbyist groups.
Yes. But they really scaremongered that, like, oh, kids are having all these surgeries. Yes. No, that is not happening. Try and just get an elective surgery or any kind of surgery. Yeah.
I got denied an outpatient visit to gynae. I was so full. And I've got endometriosis, and I've had I was like, so exactly. You try and get a surgery.
Just try and rock up and get a surgery. And so what Simeon Brown did was remove that decision from parents and GPs, and the Ministry of Health gave him 4 options. So if we do this is the likely outcome.
Right.
He chose the worst outcome for kids: increased suicide rates, no access to healthcare, and that's what he chose.
So essentially punishing our babies.
Yes, because I think what people don't really understand a lot about people who are so militantly anti-abortion and religious in that fundamental way is that their worldview allows for suffering.
Yes.
And in his view, which no one condones, he's okay with human suffering because allegedly God's going to save us all.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice for him to say when he's not the one suffering.
Exactly.
Right? Why would that be okay? But in his worldview, suffering's fine. And so I think that's why you really can't reason with people like that.
No.
And it's really scary that he's in a position where he did ban puberty blockers. So we've sued, everyone sued. But if they get in again, how could they not go after abortion? Because how could they not? It's only 6 years old.
Yes, yeah.
And if they get in again, they'll see it as a mandate.
A campaign.
Yes.
Look at us, we're going to
I know.
It just overflows to everything. I'm so worried about us, like, human rights wise. We need to, like, fight for our ear.
Yes.
Psychosocial, which is the law, all of these things. Like, but if we don't fight for them right now, then we're like, it's going to be too late. It already is kind of, so we're really going to try and.
Yeah, and you've been doing amazing work with the environmental aspects and the human rights aspect of having to live in a very contaminated air, area. And unless people push back, they just would have done the worst things.
I've been reflecting about that as well, because as you said, for puberty blockers, people went to court. I'm just wondering, is it like if we in Bromley had more money with lawyers 3 years ago, would that have changed things? And that, So, yeah, in my mind, just going to put that out there. We need some form of charitable trust when people need lawyers against, like, these crazy agencies. And put a fund together so that people can access it.
Yes, there's a reason why, you don't see these issues happening in wealthy neighborhoods because the money.
You can lawyer up.
Yeah, you need money to fight. Like, people are like, oh, we don't need money. Yes, money is good for when you need to make decisions and to have options.
But also, in saying that, the current government keeps going over high court rulings.
Yes.
So they're not listening to them at the moment. So voting is very important.
And exactly. And this is why, so Christopher Luxon and Simeon Brown are anti-abortion, right? They have this really religious, fundamentalist view of that. And it's no surprise to us as Al Rands, as someone that's been in this movement for decades, that they don't listen to experts because you cannot reason with them. You can explain everything, you give them all the evidence, but they know better, right? Because their religion informs their decisions.
It's just like weaponized.
It is. And so, they came in saying, oh, we're not going to touch abortion. We're not going to touch abortion. And then he put Simeon Brown in there, and we were like, what? And so if they get in again, they're still not going to listen to experts, and they will act on abortion and so many other things.
I think it was even lobbyist groups over the cannabis law reform referendum. I really go for that smear campaign. But people, they're told a rhetoric and they sort of believe it for like a lot of years, and it's kind of hard to break the stigma of it.
That's right.
Like, it takes a really long time.
Yeah, it is difficult to change people's minds when they've been brought up from very little believing in a certain way.
The cognitive dissonance.
Yes.
Yes, I've had people blocking me over about that.
You're like, oh well.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
But I think it's important. So
it is.
I love it. So intersections and values. So your work sits at the intersection of science, bodily autonomy, and environmental care. So how do they all connect?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I know. I mean, I think we all see ourselves as separate, like, oh, the environmental, the reproductive rights, and, social justice. Yeah. They're all connected. You can't expect someone to want to have kids in an environment where you're living, where you can't swim in your rivers, where you can't go to the beach because maybe they're going to dump sewage in there. Like in Wellington right now too, like in here in Christchurch.
And on the Banks Peninsula, it's a nightmare.
So how are we expecting people to want to have kids? And then you can't find a job. Or you can be fired now for any reason. And so they all connect. And for me, the underlying factor was having the information to present to people, where I know that it's not just my personal belief. It is something that is evidence-based. Even though, sometimes presenting people with evidence, it still doesn't change their mind.
No, it's amazing.
I know.
Sometimes I've learned across the years when to just not waste my breath anymore. Okay, I think I've said it lots of times in the last year. I've been like, I'm screaming into the wind.
That's why it was so nice to meet you, because I was like, oh my God, she's local. Because, and to be honest, I personally, but also as Al Rands, we would never try to go to the anti-abortion movement and be like, look, we're going to change your mind. Yeah. That's not what we're out to do. We're out to actually talk to people.
You're not there to convince those guys.
No, thank you. But we want to talk to young people and to people in general, just to let them know that actually we can talk about these things.
Yeah, that's good.
And you shouldn't be afraid to talk about healthcare. You shouldn't be afraid to fight for your environment. We shouldn't be afraid to do any of these things. Yeah. And I think it's really about caring for ourselves, and that means caring for where we live. You need to look after where you are and yourself, because so many people won't.
That's
they
true.
won't. They'll put profits over people, over our well-being, and it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like an amazing answer. So when you think about justice, what values sit at the center of it for you?
Oh, for me, it's love and caring, because there's so many injustices that happen in the world, and when that happens to you, as it will to all of us, you want someone to actually to say, I see the injustice.
Yes, yeah.
And
validate it.
Yes, and I care about you, and we're going to do something. We're going to do something, whether there's justice or not. Unfortunately, there's so many injustices, but
at least be heard and seen. That's so important.
It's so important, and I think I've just had that. I don't know where it comes from, but I've just had that. Like, that's not fair.
That's good. I've been like that too.
Yeah,
forever. Yeah.
Yeah, somehow, I don't know if it's just like my ancestors, especially.
That's why I'm the Māori Women's Welfare League said to me, they're like, it's a tupuna, they're guiding you. That's why you can't rest. I was like, go with it.
Yeah. I mean, especially for women and, our LGBTQIA whānau,
yes.
We've had so many injustices where everybody else gets to decide what happens to us.
Yeah.
And I think that is just such a wound. And so, for me, it is about love and care for people to be told you matter.
Yes.
And that we're gonna fight for this, whatever it may be.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that so much.
Yeah.
There's so many people don't feel seen or don't feel like they can speak up.
That's right.
Or don't even know the system. So that's why this is an education for everybody. We're going to teach everybody how to be noisy.
Yes.
I can't wait for that. So what kind of future do you hope that your work creates?
Oh, I hope my work creates so much freedom for especially women, for young people. Yeah. I love young people. They just have all the answers.
They're so smart, and they give me hope. I'm like, oh, the future. Okay, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
The young Greens and young Labour. Oh, yes, you guys, thank you.
Yes. Because they have all the answers, and their lives are difficult because of the grown-ups that are in power, and they're not making the right decisions, and they're not making grown-up decisions. They're making decisions for themselves, for their best interest.
They're not thinking about the future.
No.
Where's your forward planning?
Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like for myself, there's a lot of things that people can do to make a difference. And I studied, I went to school, then I got involved with different programs, I volunteered. And so now, as I'm starting to be a little bit more political, so I've joined the Green Party. I'm a list
it's
party.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. And I'm still sort of not sinking in.
Ride the wave. Nothing sinks in for me.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like, oh, okay. Yep. Great.
Well, this was going to be amazing. Well, you get opportunities to platform your talks and your kōrero.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah, because I see how easily bad faith actors get into politics. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And we're over here like, well, am I good enough? Well, I don't know if I know enough. I don't know if I...
Yeah.
And then there's like Simeon Brown, health minister with no qualifications. And why is he there? And so this is why I've been political my whole life. I've had to be, because politics has always been personal to me.
Same.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It affects me personally.
Yeah.
Laws can change for women depending on where you travel in the world.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen for men. Right?
Yeah,
that doesn't happen for men. We have to act according to whatever laws are in place in whatever place we go to. And so I finally decided that I would just put myself out there. And that has a lot to do with where I am in life right now, and you know,
So cool.
my kids, and they're a bit older now, and so I'm just starting this process now, and it's been so great because I'm really chatty.
Yes, and you've got so much to offer, and you're really good at talking. Like half of this, I was like, "Oh, this will be great speech." It's very moving.
Yeah,
Like,
thank you.
yeah. So thank you, like, because it's so important, like, to step into that sphere.
Yeah,
and for other women, like, because you're so brave.
Thank
Like,
you.
and the way that you just like shake off the bullying, because it like is amazing. Because that's what all of the women candidates out there will be facing.
Yes.
Like, so
yeah, I think. Thank you to the anti-abortion movement for making me so strong.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm like, okay,
That's
great.
idea. I want to be more like that.
Yeah, and it's a scary place because, you know, it can be when you first start out, because they are not only the anti-abortion movement, but people, you know, people who don't want women
having a voice.
Having a voice
about anything. Yes.
They're death threats. Call you, especially in the abortion realm. You know, I've been called every name in the book.
Oh, no. Yes.
And you learn that actually, who cares? What?
Yeah.
Who are they to me? No one.
Yes.
And so I know why I'm doing this work. Yeah. I know that if we can't control our own bodies, then we're not free. Yes, and we should never be. Motherhood is too important to force it on anyone.
I agree. Yeah.
And why would you want that? You know, why would you want to force that?
I've got lots of friends who don't have children and never want them. And
that's right.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah, not everybody wants to do that. And also shout out to all the women in Japan who just stopped having babies.
There you go.
This. Yeah.
Do it.
Like, kia ora. Yeah. See, we can literally change the world.
Yes.
We could stop producing.
That's right. We birthed the world, so don't devalue us.
Exactly.
We birthed all of you.
We could literally just stop, like, the human race.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you say to people who care deeply but aren't sure about where they fit or how to contribute?
Oh, yeah.
And this is the second to last serious question.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel that has been my journey, is figuring out where to go, what to do. I think there was a motto that when I was in university, he was a physics professor. Yeah. His name is Dr. Aurelia, who's this older Italian man who like drank, you know, these like espressos and just like loved physics. And I was terrible at physics. And so I would always go to him and like, what did you say in class? Like, I don't understand. But I passed. I did it.
Brilliant.
But he said, you know, you just do whatever inspires you, or, you know, you move towards that area.
Yes. Because
then you'll be around people that are similar.
Yeah.
You know, and that's always really stuck with me. And so you don't need to do all at once. You do little by little. And I think that's been really difficult for me because I'm really impatient.
Same. And then it's like, Rebecca, you're doing 5,000 things and you're doing them all very badly.
No, we all think we're so critical of ourselves. And
yes, so, I'm way too critical.
Yeah. Oh, same. And but this is like, I think a lot of this work has been, for me, my own pep talk. Yeah. So like being brave and being, you know, I've had to rally myself.
Yes.
And I've had I have wonderful cheerleaders. You're now one of my biggest cheerleaders. I love it. And same. I love your work. So and so I think as you move through life, you find spaces. And if not, you know, you just keep looking and keep reaching out. And
we find each other. We're on the same frequency.
That's
like,
right.
Kaharangi Kata find each other in bathrooms.
Yeah.
Just like the vibe. Or I see you like,
Yeah. And you'll find that so many people in all these movements that are about caring for people are so generous. The most generous people. That's one thing that I realize about Aotearoa is how generous people are with just themselves and their care for people and for the environment. And I'm so lucky to be a Kiwi now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so nice to hear it from that perspective as
Yeah,
well.
it really is. And so I think for anyone who's wanting to reach out or get involved, like definitely reach out to us, and we'll tell you where to go, what to do, for abortion rights, for the environment, for anything that you want to.
And it helps you be connected as well to other people. And I think that's really important. Like having a cause is so helpful.
Yeah, that's right.
And our last difficult question. So when you look at your journey so far, what thread do you think's been there the whole time?
I think for me it's been a mixture of curiosity and adventure, really.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I love interacting with people, and I'm really curious about how things work and why is it like that? Especially growing up, things were just this way. There's traditions that women have to follow and men do, and I'm like, why?
Yes.
So I was always really curious about why things were the way they were, and I always wanted to go out and about and have adventures, and it's why I chose zoology when to be honest,
the world.
I chose zoology when I was, I think, like 8 or 9.
Wow.
Because I saw this show called Jack Hanna. Do you know the guy that went out and he would go out with like cheetahs?
Yes.
And and I was like, I want to do that.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And so I've always just been curious and wanted to be out in the world.
It's amazing. It was when I was about 8 or 9 that I was like, I wanted to do Broadway and media. So like it's obviously formative. This is what I want to do.
Yes, it must be. Yeah. So
I don't know if I could do Broadway now, but tiring.
Yes, you can.
I could, but I don't know if I still want to.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, you're allowed to change your mind.
I mean, it could be, I could. Yeah, I could. But maybe not a can girl. That's probably what I had in mind when I was 9.
We're like, let's stretch now.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got our last quick fire question.
Yay.
So tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Same.
Yeah.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Love this. Bush or the beach?
Oh, the beach. Yeah.
Like that. Book, podcast or documentary?
Podcast.
What's your favorite podcast?
Ooh, true crime ones. So my 2 favorite ones, besides yours now, but you're not true crime.
No, I could be really good at that if I wanted to.
Gosh. I really like Case File and Crime Junkie.
Nice.
I think because they tell the story of people who have endured something really horrific, and they do it in a very respectful way. Cool. And it's not just to,
some people can be not great at this.
Yeah.
There's an art to telling trauma.
There
really is. Butterfly or bird?
Butterfly.
I thought I knew the answer to that.
My favorite bird is the kōrero. I love them so much.
Cute,
yeah.
Quiet day in nature or a loud room full of people?
Nature.
Like that. One thing that keeps you grounded?
The nature. Yeah. It helps to go out and walk and be by myself.
Literally put your feet on the grass.
Yes.
I forget that too.
Yes. Yeah. And my dog as well.
That's what sort of dog do you have? She's
a border collie cross. And her name is Ruth.
That's so gorgeous. And what's one word that guides your life?
Justice.
I love that.
Yeah.
And what is one word people would use to describe you, do you think?
I hope strong. I hope strong.
Yes, definitely. And what's one word you hope people will feel after spending time with you?
Seen.
Yes.
Truly seen, not just, Yeah.
That's so important.
It is. People really do need that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that is us.
Yay.
So, kia ora everybody. That was an amazing interview.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. And so
thank
fun.
you. It's so good to have the first episode done.
Oh my gosh.
So yes,
what an honor.
Yeah, and that's us for the first episode of 2026.
Thank you.